Can ancient yogis help us understand consciousness? Welcome to the Science of Yoga, Part 7. So, what is it that makes us different from robots? Yogis have said for thousands of years that we all have an Atman, a soul which goes beyond the physical body. But how exactly did they arrive at this conclusion? The question of consciousness is a fundamental one, but objective scientists have struggled with it. Science looks out at the phenomenal world and sees objects, the natural world, living creatures, etc. It makes a conceptual model of them, based on thought. And this is how we got the sciences: biology, physics, chemistry, and so on. Each day our understanding grows and refines itself. We call this scientific advancement. But when it comes to consciousness, things are not easy. Science itself acknowledges consciousness as the hard problem. It simply can't understand it. For example, when a bird sings, we know that the sound travels into our ear and then the auditory regions of the brain which process it. But this is just the mechanism of how sound enters the brain. It doesn't explain the consciousness that hears it. Why hasn't the scientific mind ever been able to solve this? Well, the answer is the scientific mind was always looking the wrong way. It's looking out there, when consciousness is the very ground of who we are. You could say that it's the ineffable part of us, behind our thought process, so the mind can never and will never understand it. It can't comprehend it. The yogic approach is not to look out there, but instead to still the mind as much as possible, making it as quiet as possible. And when it's still enough, consciousness as their true identity becomes self-apparent. So the yogis were able to make this wonderful assertion that their identity is consciousness. In today's world, in the high ranks of academia and the top universities across the planet, material scientists say that humans are purely mechanical beings and that the spiritual part of us doesn't exist. The truth is, of course, that this is itself a mental concept in the mind of the materialist. It's the mind making yet another conceptual model. To be our true identity, say the yogis, it's this very mind that we have to quieten down. Then the truth emerges by itself, and it's this truth that inspired many of the great religions. It wasn't just yogis. Mystics all over the world discovered this. They just had different names for it. It is beyond any conceptual thought and beyond the grasp of the scientific mind.